Just don't move it a lot. Okay, so now that technology is done being frustrated, I guess I'm gonna show you guys how to curl hair. Sorry. So this is Kyla. I get to curl her hair like at least 4 days a week, maybe a little less depending on the week. But so we're just gonna talk about curling hair. So this speech is supposed to be something demonstrating something that you already know and something you don't really have to research. So I don't know why it's zooming so much into me, but okay. So we're gonna do curling hair. The first step of like doing any kind of heat styling stuff is doing a heat protectant. The one I have at home is this Redken, we can zoom in on that, Redken quick blowout stuff. This is supposed to help with your blow drying time too. So that's why I have it, because I have hair extensions and they take forever to blow dry, which is frustrating. But so the first thing you want to do is just spray that all over your hair, and then brush it through your hair so it kind of just coats on everything. I think the biggest thing that people tell me is that they can't curl their hair the same that I curl it or other people curl it. Kayleen, number one, is saying that like this week. Or they just wear their hair straight because they can't figure out how to curl it, or they will curl it with like a wand and not a clamp curling iron, because I feel like that scares people the most. So once you get that brushed through, my favorite curling iron is this Bio-Ionic one. It's a long barrel one, which is good for long hair, which most of you have, except for Nana. This is about 2 inches longer than all the other curling irons, like a standard curling iron. I use the 1 inch the most, like at work, but I also have the one that's a little bit bigger. Kind of just gives you different curls depending on the size of it. All of these heat protectants, they'll say, depending on the brand, it'll say like up to how many degrees it protects. So just make sure your curling iron is not set any higher than this one. This one's 450 degrees, which there's no way like anyone needs a curling iron that hot, way too hot. Usually around like 320 is good for most people's hair. When I start, I kind of just smooth it over the hair a little bit, especially if you have somebody with like curly hair that has like crimps just from like the waves and stuff. You want to curl it like, or pull it through just like at the base of the hair. Thank you, Kyla. So I guess really traditionally, like when we were growing up, a clamp curling iron, you'd take it like all the way to the bottom and then you'd curl it up. And I think that's how most people try to do it, and they think they're going to get the same kind of curls that people are doing nowadays. That's like not at all how we do it anymore. So what you want to do is kind of just smooth the top piece of the hair, like up to like about 1-2 inches away from like your scalp, and then you're going to start to turn it. Always have the clamp facing towards you, towards the front. You're gonna let that sit for a few seconds, and this is the thing that people get confused about, because you go down and out and twist back up. So what you've already curled is up here, kind of getting a little bit of heat again, and you're gonna kind of repeat that as you go down. So you're going like down and around and back up. And that's like the part that confuses people, is the loop down. The best way I've kind of seen to explain to people what to do is to try to kind of practice that like twist down when you don't have the curling iron on. So you're not burning yourself or your hair, but it's just going kind of that direction down towards back, this facing towards the front, the clamp towards the front. The other complaint I think people give is when you're using a clamp curling iron is that you get like the weird crunchy clamp part at the end. And I think the biggest thing with that is when you get towards the end, so you're kind of swiping it through, starting like 2 inches from your scalp, letting it sit there a second, doing the twist part, go all the way down with that, is when you get to this end, is just pulling like straight down. If you go like at an angle, it's gonna give you the weird clampy part. When you're doing your sectioning, you want like about 1 inch sections, whether that be like 1 inch wide or 1 inch thick. Either way is fine. It kind of just depends on whose hair I'm doing and like the texture and how thick it is. If I section it top and bottom or just do like vertical sections all the way through. Kyla's hair is not like incredibly thick, so you kind of can just do vertical sections. If you have really, really thick hair, you want horizontal sections, have a top and a bottom, and then vertical sections throughout it instead of just vertical throughout the whole hair. But younger kids' hair, you can kind of just do the vertical sections throughout it. I'm kind of just gonna do this one side and then show you guys how we kind of finish it. Her hair takes a while to curl because it is super, super long. So that this is the part where you don't have the weird clamp. I think for a while, I don't know if you remember, Kyla, some kids were calling them like Utah curls, where they're like kind of straight on the bottom, but it also helps you not get that clamp thing and get you that like beachy wave look. So after I'm done, we're gonna pretend that her whole hair is curled. Let's see if I can show you guys more what it looks like right there. So we're just gonna pretend like this part's done. This is gonna take me 20 minutes if we do the whole thing. After you sit and you let it kind of cool down, you want it to cool down before you pretty much do anything to it. The first thing I do, and you could do these either way. You could hairspray it and then kind of finger brush it through, or you can finger brush it and then hairspray it. I do hairspray first because I'd rather set it when it's kind of structured, and this hairspray is really workable so you can still run your fingers through it. If you use like a stronger hairspray, you might not be able to run your fingers through it. This is the hairspray I use at work and at home. It's Pureology's Soft Finish. It's kind of on the expensive side, but it holds curls really well. I think that is one of the reasons that people say they don't get the same curls at home as I give. It's not even technique, it's like products that we're using at home because we don't buy the same things that the salon has, and that makes like a world of difference. But yeah, so after you hairspray it, it's curled down. You kind of just want to finger comb it with your hair. If you want like a more beachier wave that's a lot looser, you can do it with a brush too, but I prefer just to use fingers. It just depends. If you want it to last for days, use your fingers. The brush is gonna kind of take out a lot of your curls. But anyway, I hope you guys try to curl your hair at home. And Jenna's probably not because she doesn't ever curl her hair, but that's okay. If you guys have questions, you let me know. Kayleen, you can do it. I love y'all. Thank you. I'm sorry for the issues with the recording. Kylie, you can turn it off.